What's going on, guys, and welcome back to another video. What we have here in front of us is the Lenovo All-in-One 51023 ISH. We'll go ahead and open it up and I'll show you guys a few things that you can change, upgrade, replace. So let's go ahead and get started. Of course, if yours is on, you're going to make sure you turn it off, and then we're going to unplug it from the back, and then we'll get to it. All right, guys, so we have this unplugged and we're ready here. So the first thing you can do if you don't want this stand to get in your way, there's this rubber piece that you can remove, and there's this, you can use your hand to twist it. If it's a little too tight, use a big flat head to get this loose. And then we're just gonna go ahead and unscrew this, and this does not come off, but it'll remain in there, but you can remove it just like so. And then we'll keep our rubber piece here with it on the side. Now, to remove this back panel, this all-in-one does not have any screws. So basically, there's these tabs right here and then on the left hand as well. So you might need something to try to pry this open with. But as you can hear, clicks. We'll work our way to the other side. And the back cover will come out just like so. So again, there's no screws, just these little slots here where you can put something sturdy, pry it open, and just keep working your way around all the way to the other side. All right, so that's the back cover. So now that we remove this cover here, right, we have our hard drive exposed, a standard desktop hard drive, 3.5 inch. Our memory is actually hidden behind this right here. But before I get to, so you actually, let me go ahead and start with this. I'll start with this hard drive and then the memory, just in case that is your main goal, is to replace or upgrade these two modules, then you can go ahead and do so. Let's start with the memory actually. So there's a little area here where you can put your finger and try to pry this open. And if it's really hard to do, try to use something to pry that open. And this might go flying to the other side of the country, but try to keep your hand here just to hold it from getting tossed somewhere. Now that we remove this, we have our memory. We also actually have an M.2 exposed. So the hard drive is simply just running, is this for storage, unless, again, depending on when you install your operating system, if you haven't reinstalled an operating system, whether you installed it on the M.2 or the hard drive. All right, so the M.2 here, in this case, for this all-in-one, has the OS running on it. And I recommend that for sure, especially if you do have an M.2. If you don't have an M.2 where this area is empty, then I do recommend getting an M.2. And let's go ahead and actually remove this M.2. There's a screw here that's holding it down, and we'll keep this screw aside. And just wiggle left and right, and it will come out just like so. All right, so this M.2 has one notch. It is a 128 gigabytes. I believe the hard drive is a terabyte. We'll go ahead and actually check that. But this is too little, right? 128 gigabytes. If you are really just running the OS on it and you're saving all programs and everything else on the hard drive, then this is not too bad. But if you have 128, you probably should upgrade that to 500 gigabytes or 1 terabyte. To put this back, before I put this back, I'm going to put it aside actually. The memory, there are two slots here. So this all-in-one is only occupying one slot, but to remove the memory, there's these tabs here that we just pull away from each other, and our memory module will pop up, and then we can just slide it out. So it takes a PC4, right? This is an 8 gigabyte, and you can get to 8 gigabytes. I believe you can even get to 16 gigabytes for a total of 32. But to put the memory module back, if you try to put it in the wrong way, which would be, let's say, for example, this way, it won't work because of where the notch is. It does not align with this here, right here. So when you put your memory in, just slide it, and you'll know that it's not sliding anymore if you push it with your thumb. And then you can just push it down and it will click right into position. All right, and then for your M.2, if you had it and you replaced it, You only goes in again also one way. Let me see where it is. It's right up here. And you'll kind of, actually, no, I'm not putting it in the correct spot. I can't see what I'm doing here, guys. Here it is. So you do have to see where you're putting it. In my case, I'm here on the left-hand side, so I can't even see behind here. Get your screw ready once you put it in, and then just hold it down, put your screw on, and you should be good to go. So that is it for this right here. To put this back on, we'll go ahead and actually put it on. This will be towards the left-hand side, and these two will actually slide in first. And then you push it down, you'll hear a little bit of a click. All right. Now, for this cover, there's 1, 2, 3, and then there's a fourth here that's kind of hiding. In my case, this looks like it just came off, but let me just put this back on because I want to show you guys something here. So to remove, you do need to remove the CD-ROM, right? And let me use a screwdriver. What they tell you here is there is some instructions here. Basically, they tell you push. It's not very clear, quite honestly, but use the same flathead. I mean, the Phillips that you use to remove the M.2 or even the screws that are here, and you're gonna put it here and then push towards the left because there's not enough space to actually use your nails. So you're gonna have to just do that, and then as you can see, it popped up out. This is fine if it comes out or if it didn't come out right away. I really hope this one doesn't. It looks like it may have been broken. I don't know, but yeah, just put your screwdriver right into position. There's 2 slots here. Start with the far right one, and then push towards the left, and then you can come here to get it out a little bit more. And then from here, really, you just use your hand and you pull that out. Now, let me go ahead and check if this one is fine or not. If I was to position the button, it should be. Let me see. How was this in? This was in like so. No, this was in like so. No, what am I saying? This was in like so. So to remember, if you want to put it back in, the connection is back here. And just remember where the screw is, and that's how you want to face it. That means this that was sitting like this was sitting like that. And no, nothing looks broken. I'm gonna go ahead and just keep this on here and make sure that I can make that click in place. All right. Now we should be able to get this out after we remove those screws. There is in the center here, let me see if I can remove this. I can remove that. This will get in your way, but you can try to work with it. And then for the back, there's some clips, these clips here, but it comes out pretty easily afterwards. So if you remove this back one, it's really just to have exposure to the fan module. And then if you really want to get into where the heat sink is, you do have to remove some additional stuff here, some additional screws, and you're gonna have to remove this cover here as well. I'm not gonna get into this, and I haven't done this before, but if it is requested, I'm more than happy to do a video to cover that as well. But I just wanted to show you guys what it basically looks like if you remove that top cover as well, because normally everything can be accessed right here. Now, actually, let me go back because I didn't show you guys how to remove this hard drive here. Let me just push this handle up. What you do is you just pull, you push this, and then you pull. This one is a little bit tricky, honestly. But I think you pull this handle. You pull this handle and you try to wiggle and so forth. And then we have our connection here in the back that I have to try to wiggle left and right, and it will come out. And there is this tape that's comes with it that's keeping it a little more secure, I guess. And then of course, if you want to go ahead and remove your hard drive, this is kind of rubbery in a way. Plastic is stretched. It's a little bit. It's plastic, but you can basically remove the hard drive by um, getting these out of the way. So by pushing, right, there's these plastic pieces that go into where the threads are there. It's not really threaded into it, it just sits there to hold it in place. But you have to work your way around. I'm not going to go ahead and get into all the whole thing because I'm putting the same thing back on. But if you are replacing it, you just have to keep prying from different areas and getting that piece out of the hole, and then your hard drive will come out. So to put it back on the same way, we'll go ahead and actually put this on first. And I'll use that tape and just put it back to where it was. And then you simply just slide it and it is secure. All right, so let's go back to the top cover. I'm gonna go ahead and put this back on. You have to work this one into position. So perhaps maybe it's easy to do this and then sit the top and then push down on the top here to make it click into position. And then that's pretty much it. We're going to take those screws that we removed, a total of 4 screws. I'm going to start with the center and then work my way to the other sides. There's some more clicking that happens here on the left-hand side as well. All right, now we can go ahead and take this. There is this little piece that I removed, which was right over here. So I did remove this. I'm not sure if it's necessary to remove it. Probably a good idea to remove it. I'm not sure exactly what it was doing there or what it does, but put that back on. And then again, remember the connection where it plugs in. The screw is right here, so you want to have it sit that way while you push it in. And I just want to make sure that this is not broken. So let me see if I can slide this. And I think we're good. That is pretty simple there. Finally, we'll go ahead and put the bottom cover back on. And if you look at the bottom cover, there's a bunch of different brackets here that will click in certain areas on the left-hand side, on the bottom, really all the way around. So the fact that this handle helps you kind of position things, you pretty much just, you start with, you take it off once again, you see these right here that are sticking out a little bit longer, like sticking out more than the case is. So you want to slide it into position that way first. And once you do, you should be able to make them click all in place. So let's do that. All right. Now, if some areas don't look pushed in, for example, like in my case, I can see there's a gap here, right? So try to pry up a little bit and see if you can align where the bracket should be, and just give it a good bang. We'll do the same thing with the other side. Actually, this other side, I'm going to see if just a good bang will actually make it click in place, and it doesn't. So you want to go ahead and pry that open. Just figure out why it's not clicking in place. All right, and that looks a lot better there. All right, cool. Now don't hit it too hard where you're breaking the whole case. The final thing that we have here, guys, is to take our handle, and we're gonna go ahead and screw that back on. All right, and tight. Now, if you want to go ahead and just tighten it down more with the flathead, you can do so. But I think this is pretty good, quite honestly, hand tight. We'll take our rubber piece, put that back on, and we are good to go. I really hope that this video was helpful, guys, and I will see you guys on the next one.